Howdy folks, Sheriff Armadillo here, welcoming you to Sonic Mania! So I'm not going to be talking with that voice the whole time. Last time, we got started on Encore Mode, a new mode introduced in the Sonic Mania DLC. It also brought back some old faces. That I just got rid of one of them. But yeah, this mode is awesome, and you can bet that I am going to focus on finishing this up. Yeah, we'll easily be able to get done this game in this session. Fortunately, yeah, it's a shame that I kind of got rid of Mighty, because he kicks ass in this area. So, Mirage Saloon Act 1. It seems like every time we come to this place, it gets a little different each time. Yeah, this is a rather interesting detail about this stage in particular. Seems like every version of this area we've played has had different things going for it. When we went in here with Sonic and Tails, the level was one big shout out to the Sky Chase zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And then we went through here, Knuckles, it was a pretty standard level that plays very close to the strengths that Knuckles the Echidna has. And now that we're here, things have changed again. This level is pretty much catered in order to work well with the playstyles of all of the characters. So we have areas that are suited to Mighty and Ray, obviously. We have areas that Knuckles is good at. Sonic and Tails are also good. This whole area is just catered to being a good experience for every character, no matter which one you choose to use. And I think that's really good. Definitely a way to shake things up in this area. Now, some people may find the inconsistent playstyle interesting. I know some people may not like the way things keep changing up in this zone, but I don't know, it's cool. I want to be careful because I do know that somewhere around here there will be a secret ring coming up. And yeah, I'm still going by my statement that we are not going out of our way to get all of these special stage rings, because I really don't mind not getting them in Encore. We've seen the super forms of a few of our characters already, and we're not missing out on not getting them from Mania and Ray. So it would be cool to see that. Speaking of which, we actually have the newcomers together. Man, it's just great getting to play as these guys again. Especially because one of those people who never grew up with the games that they were first introduced in, being Knuckles Chaotix and Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, respectively. There, we got a very good demonstration of Mighty's. Alright, I love this animation where he's just stumbling at the edge. That is really good. Again, another thing I really love about this game. The character animations are just so good, so dynamic, and full of character. Can't get enough of it. Ow. Ruined my shield, dick. Alright, I think this is the part that I was thinking of. Not quite, but we should be getting close. Just want to be very careful going through here. Ow. Well, not that careful, apparently. I must say, the stage is definitely longer to get through than the Sonic and Tails version. Oh, there it is. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get this. Yeah, the train is parked here and isn't moving. Ow, dick. Yeah, looks like we're not getting the one. Also, I like the transition of of this stage, how things are turning. Oh, the train's starting now. And nope, we still can't get it. It's a shame. Yeah, I just love the aesthetic change of the stage, how it goes from being midday to sunset. Just really cool. I can't get enough of this stage, it's great. Alright, time for us to get in another battle. Alright, looks like we're going against the Knuckles version of this boss. The electric shield's really good at tearing this guy apart. Look at that, that went so smooth compared to the last times we fought that guy. Yeah, if you have Sonic and the electric shield, it just makes mincemeat out of that guy. Very impressive. And with that, managed to get through Act 1, so it's time to go to some familiar territory. Let's take Ray through this next stage. This area has a lot of open sections I think would be nice for him to just soar through. Ow. Don't appreciate that, sir. Yeah, unfortunately we do have these birds ruining our good times here. I just want to fly like Mario from Super Mario World. Come on. But yeah, just look at that. Being able to bounce off of the pinball flippers, just... that is great. Ow. Alright, you're not great, sir. So yeah, while we're in this Western-themed stage, there's something that I've been meaning to talk about that also has to do with some of the stuff that I've been working on recently. So, very recently, a few days ago, the pilot episode for this really amazing cartoon finally came out called Long Gone Gulch. It's just this Western-themed show where you have a bunch of cowboys and outlaws going at each other in intense and great battle scenes. Just, it was amazing. And like, this was a cartoon pilot that's been in development for at least 5 years, I want to say, and it's all done by a bunch of independent animators all collaborating together into this one project. So it's very similar to Has Been Hotel in a lot of ways, which is another thing I really like. But yeah, it was just awesome. I really love the characters. The main character, Rawhide, is just a really strong female protagonist. I like her partner, Snag. And, oh man, the frickin' outlaw character, Mako, is just so cool. Like, wouldn't expect a shark to make a fun Western outlaw character, but they pull it off so well. And like that, we're already at the end of the stage. But yeah, Long Gone Gulch, I cannot recommend it enough. It's a great time. Alright, Magician, see what you got. And since we're at this fight, and seeing this whole gimmick again, I must say it'll be very interesting to see what they do in a Sonic Mania 2. Especially given that this whole game was about bringing back all these old characters and features that were from the classic games. And of course they have Knack the Weasel and Bean the Dynamite as characters only for this boss fight. But I think it would be very cool if they brought these characters back as actual playable characters. Like, can't you just imagine playing as Bean or Knack in a classic Sonic game style? That'd be so cool. It's definitely something I'd like to see them try in a sequel. You know, if a sequel actually happens. Also, I didn't comment about it till now, but went through a nighttime version of Mirage Saloon. So yeah, all in all, just really like this stage. Definitely a good time. And now let's shoot off to another good area, in my opinion. Oil Ocean Zone. looking a little brighter than it was last time. Although, not by much, really. This is a stage you'll definitely want Mighty for. A lot of the enemies here have projectiles, there's a lot of spikes. So yeah, Mighty is really good in this stage. Definitely use him. Yeah, this prefer to run through this area. Not counting the times I went back here in order to grind for Chaos Emeralds. And yeah, things really haven't changed too much here. Still the same basic layout, still the same awesome music that I really want to hear like an Arabian remix of. I just think it would sound really good with those kind of Arabian instruments. Oh, hang on. Things are looking a bit stable here. So give me a second. Alright, things were a bit shaky there, but I think we're good to continue things. I definitely wouldn't like this session to end prematurely. That'd be the last thing I want, especially since this is most likely gonna be the end. Okay, can we... man, I totally screwed us there. I wanted to see what was up there, and I remembered I had tails. I could switch to tails and fly up there, but nope. Fate was like, no. You go in that oil and you like it. Oh, that was cool. Yeah, definitely be careful there, because I think these platforms can crush you. But yeah, in terms of other stuff that's been going on, kind of back into Long Gone Gulch, I actually drew the main character Rawhide and posted that art on my DeviantArt. It turned out really well. I'm very glad that so far it's been very well received. Oh, that was impressive. I think I even got a new watcher because of it, which, you know, when you do create something and just that little bit of recognition that everything was worth it, it's something that we artists really strive to obtain and stuff. Talk about another fight that Mighty is really good in. Fighting against the plumber guy again. Yeah, just look at that. He's able to bounce off like everything this guy does. It is so amazing. Mighty, you are great. Why aren't you in more games? I'm sorry, that animation is just brilliant. Seriously, why is Mighty not in more games? His skill set is just so good. Being able to reflect projectiles, being immune to spikes for a little bit. Just so good. So back in Oil Ocean Zone, Act 2. Although the stage is looking a lot less brown than last time. I must say, I do like the more cool color palette. With all the blues and purples, it definitely changes up the dynamic of the stage a bit. Of course, we still got poison gas to deal with here. Pull on those levers so that you can dispel the gas and not have to worry about it at all. Something I really like about Oil Ocean Zone here. It's a lot more dynamic in this Act 2. Of course, this whole mechanic is taken from Sandopolis back in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Good stuff, I want to say. I actually haven't played that level in the last run of that game I did, but, you know, we'll get to it eventually. It is a game I have considered actually streaming at some point, but after I've actually beaten the game myself and gotten some practice with it, I feel like that would be for the best. Yeah, just make sure I am more than equipped for taking it on in the stream series, which should be interesting. I know a lot of people say that it is one of the best classic Sonic games, especially a certain YouTuber that I follow who plays a lot of games and knows his stuff. this is interesting there with the spiky left. I'm just gonna avoid that. Ow. Well, that was unfortunate. Whatever, we'll just blast up here. So in terms of other art stuff, there is something that I kind of want to talk about, even though it kind of leads into some things that I'm, you know, still not comfortable talking about in public. Take that, jerk. So another thing that I just finished up today, actually, and got that posted, not somewhere I'm gonna mention, but it is out there, is I finished up a little comic, which really is getting me back into some good comic practice, because I used to do a lot of Nuzlocke comics back on the Nuzlocke forums, and it's something that I definitely want to get back into sometime. So it was a nice practice of getting back to doing comics and stuff, but it's interesting because the overall subject matter of the comic was definitely a lot more mature than what I tend to do. And that's really not the most unfortunate part. So today I actually had an optometrist appointment. And so I had to go... Nope. Basically, I had to leave the town that I live in order to do this eye appointment. And it went well, all things considered. And once I got back from work, so I actually I live in a condo with my older brother. We kind of share the same living space and just make sure that things go well with us. And one thing that my brother does is that he tends to vacuum up my floor when I am away for work and stuff. And while I was out my appointment, he came into my room to clean, and I had forgotten before I left my appointment that comic I was drawing that has some rather mature subject matter in it, I just want to say, I left it on my desk at the time. He hasn't said anything, but I'm just going to assume that he knows. He knows about it, and yeah, I just kind of have to deal with that now, that he knows that I've been drawing these kind of things. But, you know, he's probably known about it for a while and just hasn't said anything, because, you know, that's just kind of how we do. Just mind our own business, not getting into each other's grill. But yeah, it's just still really funny to think about that he actually managed to discover this, and I don't know, still hasn't said anything about it, but it'll be interesting to say the least if he ever does, you know, try to confront me about it. Man, poor Ray, he's not taking this very well. I would use a Ray here, but Knuckles is more than fine for handling this robot. I mean, just look at that. Knuckles' glide is so good for beating that boss. And in no time at all, we are done with Royal Ocean. As I said before, really like this area. I just want to get that out of the way as we finish this up, because this is the last time I'll be seeing this area for quite a while. There we go. So yeah, overall things are going good. Oh man, another level that Ray's not going to be too good at because it's a lot of cramped, confined areas. Sorry, buddy, you'll get a chance to shine eventually. Maybe Titanic Monarch, because I don't see him being too helpful at Metallic Madness. Again, I have to say, been very interesting getting to play through these levels again in a system where I have to use all of these different characters. And just being able to freely switch out the characters that I'm using, it's been a good time. Alright, let's grab that fire shield. That'll be helpful ahead. I wonder if that's a button we can hit. Yep. It's nice that we managed to blow up that. Oh man, just cannot get enough of Lava Reef. I mean, just look at this scenery. It's very lovely. And it's gonna get even better once we head into Act 2. And the music, I can just go on about this song forever. It's great. I feel like more of those exploding robots are in this version. Encore mode specifically, I'm referring to. Alright, it's kind of a shame we're switching out Fire Shield for Electric Shield since... Ow. Alright. I was gonna say I was gonna switch to Sonic in order to make better use out of this ability. Yeah, it's a shame Mighty can't actually do anything about those fireballs. He's good, but he's not that good. So that, and... Nice try. So yeah, what has been going on besides my usual art stuff and secretly dying of embarrassment? I don't know, things have been pretty standard, all things considered. Let's actually switch to Sonic. I don't know why, I just kind of want to... Oh, look at that! I was not aware that I could actually pull that off. And once again, we mess up. Oh well. Take the lower path because I see rings, and those are good. Catch up, Mighty. You're too slow, so come on. I wasn't even around when that became a thing. That reminds me, I've been meaning to actually do like a role-playing stream or something. I still haven't figured out what would be a good game for that, but yeah, definitely sometime eventually I'd like to do some role-playing. I feel like it'd be very fun and just help flex my creative muscles. Alright, let's hit this. Let's see what character we get. Ray. Alright, we're using the new characters. So yeah, things have been pretty standard of late. Guess another thing I could mention, though it's kind of weird to be talking about this, really. Ow. Dick. I'm just gonna avoid you. It's cool having these sections that are, like, specifically caters to these characters. Like, this section is built for Mighty. No other way to say it. Whoa. Yep, let's grab that speed. So something else I've been getting into lately. So, I am a fan of the show South Park, which, you know, just a very funny, but also very crude cartoon with an art style that is both very simple, but also very detailed, if you can believe that. I like those kind of shows that can be very, you know, very simple, but also very creative, and I think South Park does a good job of it. So, oh hey buddy, I was expecting to see you here. Oh, got rising lava. I actually don't think I've ever seen this section of Lava Reef. Oh, jeez. I'm not familiar with this at all. Well, at least Mighty's ground pound is helpful here. Seriously, I am not used to this. This is all new territory for me. Ow. It's a good thing I grabbed like one ring. Get that, buds. And yeah, I'm bringing up South Park right now because I've been watching these interesting videos, to say the least. They're kind of compilations of comics that people have drawn and that have been dubbed over, involving some of the characters in South Park. Specifically with two of the characters named Craig and Tweet. So, in case you didn't know, in the show South Park, in one of the more recent seasons, the characters Craig and Tweet actually became a couple. And yeah, it was kind of fun, like, the entire basis of their relationship even starting is because, like, all the Japanese these girls at their school were drawing yaoi art of them, and they just kind of eventually just decided to be together. Because in spite of everything, like, they have each other's back and stuff, and they actually care for each other, which is very sweet. It's just fun to see those kind of relationships blossom, especially in an adult show like that, you know? And yeah, they're just these fun little comics, and the dubbers obviously have a lot of fun voicing these characters. Yeah, just something that I've really been liking recently. Ow. You can beat me just because you're red hot? Well, guess what? I'm red, and I'm hotter. Yeah. Alright, that takes care of Lava Reef. Act 1. Now, for the record, I'm probably going to be running out of things to talk about very soon. Which, yeah, it's definitely going to make the finale of this series rather awkward, but, you know, just kind of the way things go. But yeah, Lava Reef, Act 2. Okay, now this is something where I feel like the Encore color palette doesn't do it justice. I mean, look at this. Everything's all grainy and brown. When it was blue, it was so pretty. Come on. Like, I'm not gonna get too hung up about this, but this is a downgrade compared to the original version. I'm sorry. Well, I actually do have something I can talk about here. Yeah, Encore Lava Reef Act 2. You're not as good as the original. And that probably led to a special ring or something. Whatever, I'm not going to use them for anything. Definitely not getting the Chaos Emeralds before the end of this. You're not immune to fire, Mighty. You're good, but you're not that good. You are not a... Grab that invincibility. Alright, can we climb up here, please? Yeah, I know I haven't been using Ray at all, but I'm sorry. Mighty is the superior character. Yeah, just explode, you dicks. I know what I said. Shut up. Alright, now we're Knuckles. Great. I mean, Knuckles is pretty good here, especially in these cramped spaces where he can make use of his lighting and wall climbing. I approve of this character change. I've still also been thinking of other stuff I can do on stream, because with us being close to the end of Sonic Mania, I've actually been thinking that I could take my usual time I've been using for these streams to do other stuff, because I've been meaning to get back to playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and yeah, I could definitely take some time off from streaming, at least my non-Emerald games, in order to give that another crack, because yeah, I really love that game, and I'm really excited to actually finish it this time. I want to be careful there. Alright, got this now. It's interesting going through this level. It's definitely a lot more slower pace, as you can obviously tell from the music. But, you know, sometimes you just need to relax and unwind with something that's a little slow, but still exciting. Also, since we're nearing the end of this game, very soon I should show off the new mini-game that we're able to do from the goalposts. You know, since we're not gonna get a chance to really show that off sometime in the future, depending on if we actually die and have to try to regain a character. Because, yeah, I must say with the limitation of Encore mode of not having an actual life system, I haven't had to worry about that too much. Especially because the game gives you plenty of options to restock on characters should you lose them. Alright, I'm gonna let those guys explode, because I think... Yep, that's a Knuckles section. Alright, now we're in one of Knuckles' areas. I know we were just here like a couple stream sessions ago, but... There's repeating. I like this area. I see those, but I don't really need rings right now. Alright, looks like we're already at the end. I wish I had Mighty for this boss fight, because, yeah, it's definitely something. Also, only the second time we're facing this guy. You know what, Ray, why don't you take a crack at him? Not really the best for this fight, but give it a shot, bro. Ah, you jerk. Alright, buddy, what else you got for us? And there we go! Heavy Knight is defeated. Goodbye, Moto Bug, named after a deceased Sonic, the fan game maker. I made myself depressed again. And I didn't even have to look at the news. Speaking of things making me depressed, Metallic Madness. Not gonna mince words, this is my least favorite area in the game. I know that I've complained about it enough times, but come on, it bars repeating. I do not like this area. Let's actually get that character switch, because I know that... Okay, I was kind of hoping to get Ray from that. I mean, Mighty from that, because Mighty's really good in this area. With a lot of spiked hazards in this area, he's definitely a good one to have. Okay. Hey, could you not be a massive jerk to me, please? Just once. Especially in my least favorite area, come on. I know I said before, yeah, I just don't like this area for whatever reason. I mean, I know the reason. The enemies here are very annoying to deal with. There's a lot of hazards in this place. The gimmicks are interesting, though, like jumping into the background and getting turned mini. And, of course, the bosses in this level are really good. Like, I'll give this level that. I really like the boss fights here. But everything else is blah. Let's see what else we can find here. Alright, can we get these? Yes, we can! Sonic and Knuckles and Mighty. That's actually the characters we started the stream session with. Okay, I want to go over here because I see that here. Look at that! Alright, I'm gonna try that again. Hang on. Let's use Knuckles since he has his pride. Alright, we got up here. And come back to me, Mighty. Alright, let's go in the background here. What? How'd I die? Metallic Madness! Like, during the transition, did the game think that I flew into the wall and just crushed me? Well, I'm really sorry that I lost you there, Mighty. Hey, mate. Silver lining, we could get to show off something coming up. If I could actually gather the rings to activate it, and actually hold on to them. Yeah, this is what Metallic Madness does. It makes me irrationally angry. For many reasons. Alright, that section there with the springs was kind of... Well, back here. I'm I'm not taking that. I learned my lesson. Let's ignore that bomb. It'll just be annoying. Still not enough to activate this, huh? Should I be close to it, Nick? Alright, how much longer till at the end of this area? Ooh, gotta be careful there with those spikes. Should be getting close to... Oh god, bombs. Shit! My rings! This is what this area does to you. It makes me so mad. It's not even the fun kind of mad. Like, I'm watching people play Sonic 06, and that is a fun game to get mad at, because that game is just so broken that you can just find endless entertainment from it. Yeah, this area is just annoying. Really, still not enough. Alright, let's go do this. Well, this is interesting at least. Both Tails and Knuckles haven't canonically fought this boss before. I mean, we did in our Knuckles playthrough, but I'm speaking in terms of these characters when it comes to the context of Sonic 1. Because obviously, these guys went around in Sonic 1, so they wouldn't have met this boss in the first instance of it. Ah, shoot. Speaking of which, on the topic of Sonic games and how they can be, you know, bad, there's actually a Game Boy Advance port of the original Sonic the Hedgehog called Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, and this game is so goddamn broken. Like, it has all the problems that you can think of. Just horrible presentation, this horrible screen crunch that prevents you from seeing a lot that's going on the screen, leading you to a lot of cheap shots. And then, of course, the game just has incredible slowdown that just makes it a whole slog to go through and do the simplest commands. And the final boss of the game is made infinitely harder because of the screen crunch. You can't see the pistons coming down from the top. And because of that, it makes the chance of just losing to that boss so much higher. Like, it's so crazy. Did they not even playtest the game before releasing it? Like, I know that game was rushed out for the series' 15th anniversary, but come on, that's just crazy. I mean, Sega turning out an inferior product. When does that ever happen? Also, let's play as Tails. We haven't been as in a while. Okay, I guess we're being Ray now. Sorry, Tails, you can just screw off. We don't need you. Thanks for that, Knuckles, even though... Okay, what hit me there? Was there just a tiny bomb that I didn't see? Oh, no. Oh, good. As if this area wasn't annoying enough, we got retractable spikes. And these guys, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being such a Debbie Downer about this. I cannot stand this area. Like, I'm sure that there are some Sonic CD fans out there that can argue that, oh, Metallic Madness isn't that bad. I'm sorry, I just cannot stand this area. So, all you Sonic Mania stans, I'm sure your opinions are valid, but to me, I just don't care. This is a flawed area, and I want nothing to do with it when I am done with this game. I will give it this, that at least it's open enough where you don't have to go through, like, all of the small portions. Because these portions where you're tiny, they're interesting and having to deal with these hazards while you're confined to a smaller space and stuff. It's cool. Not really my cup of tea, but it's cool. Alright, let's go down here. Alright, do we want to risk switching to another character? Let's swap out Knuckles for someone. Alright, Sonic is a good choice. I feel like those spikes were put there just to inconvenience you. I mean, that's what most hazards are used for. Alright, what is that up there? I have a mighty need. Okay, get it? Okay, I can definitely do this. There we go, we got Mighty back. That's actually a very cool maneuver, thanks, Ray. Again, it's what I really like about these games' characters. They can be used for so many things, not just for... Alright. And like that, we got Mighty back. Yeah, best character, because we don't have to worry about frickin' spike damage. Thank you. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Come on. Thank you. Alright, let's get hit by the mini beam again, and we should be almost done this area. I know we still got that Crusher section to go through. Oh yeah, they have a lot of spikes in this area that I don't think weren't in the normal version. Yeah, definitely a lot of this stuff I can tell was added into Encore mode. And yet they didn't change the already annoying parts into something easier. Like, imagine that. You okay there, Tails? Nah, whatever, you're fine. Also, I don't think the section with the little bombs was here. Swap out Knuckles. Okay. Ow. We can swap another character here. Alright, we got Mighty and Ray. Okay, I'm just going to avoid that entirely. Avoid that. Another mini section. Okay. I was wondering for a moment if Mighty was actually going to be affected by that. Just going to ignore you, Doctor. I think there's anything up there we can get. Actually, I wonder if we're actually able to fly with Ray here. Alright. There's a... Oh, we actually can fly. That's interesting. But yeah, time for everyone's favorite boss, the Gachapon on robots. I love this boss fight. Like, it's just so cool bringing all these classic Eggman bosses here, and also Amy for some reason, and having them presented as a Gachapon machine where you're dropping the bosses at you. That's so clever. I really like this fight. Again, Metallic Madness. I hate the level. The bosses are great. Alright, and we got one more phase to go. Ow. I got hit on the final phase. What? Oh well. It's still a really fun way to end the boss fight. Yep, Metallic Madness is over and done with. Thankfully, I will not have to deal with this level for a long time. Screw you. Hey, we got both of the new guys in for the final area. That's very convenient. But yep, it's on to the final level. Considering my usual luck with this area, this is going to be interesting. An area where we could potentially see a game over. Titanic Monarch, the final stage of our adventure. In not only Encore mode, but the whole of a Sonic Mania. Okay, I guess we can switch to Sonic and Tails. Okay, that's fitting. Having these guys here is definitely fitting. But yeah, not a whole lot has changed about this area since last time, except for one thing. Everything is green. Insert green eggs and ham joke here. I mean, it's a nice aesthetic for this area. I do like green, but I don't don't know, it just kind of loses something without the red color scheme, which definitely made this area feel very friendly. I mean, here it just looks like we're trying to climb a giant pickle robot, which was probably the funniest shit anyone's ever seen, but, you know. Just my little thought in this area. It really isn't too bad, all things considered, although I do have my few issues with this area. Not really so much with Act 1. I think Act 1 is a very good demonstration of just how this area works as a final area, and in testing like all the abilities that you've been using and honing throughout this adventure. I feel like it works in that department. Definitely a very hard area, but for the right reasons. Act 2, though, well, it's interesting, and I have a history of it. Alright, before we go any farther, let's actually show this off. In the final episode, we're dealing with pinball! Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting a Sonic pinball reference in this game, but it is. So the pinball machine is very interesting. You can use this not only to get items like the elemental shields and more rings, but there's also an area where you can restock on characters should you lose them. The monitors are not the only way you can get new characters. And yeah, like that, we were able to get a fire shield for us. So yeah, definitely going through those areas is a good way to get stuff that can help you in your adventure. Between the new characters, between the different shields you can get, it's good. I definitely recommend using it a lot more than I did. But I was basically only wanting to show it off for the purpose of getting characters, and obviously we didn't have a good point for doing that, so had to hold off on actually doing it until this point in the game, which, oh boy, I really have a lot of regrets now. Alright, you can die, sir. I'm sorry, those pig robots are annoying. Oh, I don't know if that electric thing was there in vanilla. If it was, I never noticed it. Ow. What was that? Yeah, regular shield's not good against those guys. I think electric shield can resist that attack. It's also an area I'm not too familiar with, I think. Oh, look at that! Special stage ring! So I can take another crack at this one, even though I am horribly out of practice of this stage. Haven't played it for quite a few weeks. I mean, we can try our best to potentially be the last Chaos Emerald we see of this game. Which, all things considered, we did pretty well. We don't need to show off, like, every single thing in this game. I'm definitely not one of those players. I'm not Gerard the Completionist. But, you know, we made a good attempt at it. We managed to see quite a lot of this adventure, and while it is sad that the Sonic Mania playthrough here on Twitch is coming to an end, we managed to make some good memories out of it, still. Definitely a lot of fun times. I'm getting to show off a game that I really love and was very excited to get to play on Twitch. But yeah, the adventure is soon. I really didn't want to get hit there. It's maybe coming to a close, but it's going to open up many more opportunities for some exciting games in the future. Namely, some stuff that I've been really excited to try out since I got them on Christmas. But yeah, that will be for another time. Probably jump into whatever the next stream is after I'm done wrapping up Emerald. Okay, we're at Mach 3 now, so things will be interesting. It's definitely going to be an attempt to get this Chaos Emerald. Don't know if we can pull it off, though. Yeah, given how many rings we currently have, I don't know if we can do this. Yeah, I don't see it happening. We made an honest attempt at it, but it just seems like this Chaos Emerald's out of our reach. 3, 2, 1. Yep, time over. We made an honest attempt at it, and it didn't pay off. But in the end, isn't that the greatest achievement of all? Thank you, continue Sonic, for facilitating my point there. Yeah, even if you don't have characters, even if you don't have lives in this game, you still have the opportunity to get continues. And that's nice. This is actually very interesting because we haven't been at this section of Mania yet. Alright, we can play as Mighty. Definitely a good character for this area. A lot of hazards, and as we have seen multiple times in the playthrough, Mighty is really good at dealing with hazards. Thanks for taking care of that guy for me, Sonic. And I'm kind of at a loss for what to talk about right now, which I know is a sin during a Let's Play or stream, but it's just kind of the way things are here. Wow. Sonic got killed by that guy. Sorry, I'm used to Tails being the sidekick. You okay there, Sonic? Alright, let's swap out to Knuckles. Yeah, Knuckles is good this section. I can take this. Oh, I guess another thing I can talk about. Not that happened very recently. Kind of going into other stuff that I've seen this week. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, that show has actually come back. And I am so happy that it did. Alright, first let's go in here and see if we can get I want to see if I can grab another shield, because I can really use one for the fight ahead. Because, yeah, I really don't like the boss that's coming up here. Okay, we got that. I'm not sure what it does, but I'm sure it's nice. Alright, we got a regular shield. That's nice. Is there anything else we can grab, though? So yeah, as you go through the pinball stage, you unlock more and more of the machine to play through. And you get different rewards as you go up higher. So yeah, it's very interesting. I know I'm basically just kind of delaying right now because we already got a shield, but come on, we are almost done this playthrough. Might as well show off some more of this stuff. That was weird. Alright, buddy, do you think you can get up there, please? But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged has come back, and oh boy, was I excited for it. It's definitely been a very good series, very long-lived. Because, like, little Karibo, Marn has been doing it for so many years. And the fact that he's managed to get closer and closer to, like, the final season has been very admirable. Very, very admirable. Like, he took quite a long hiatus after Season 4, but very well deserved for all the work he put into that season. And in case anyone doesn't know, little Karibo actually suffers from depression, and yeah, it's just been a very scary thing to think about, that we could have seriously lost this very funny and creative person to this horrible whole thing. But it is nice to know that he has been feeling a little better, and is in a proper mindset to be working on this series again, because yeah, he's definitely been quite an influence, especially with some other stuff. Man, look at Sonic and Knuckles working together. It's almost like that one game they were together in. What was it called? Oh yeah, Sonic Heroes.
those guys appreciated my joke there. Whatevs. So we're in Titanic Monarch, Act 2. This will be interesting. I have played for this area so many times, not just on stream. I don't know, in terms of final area, it gets the job done, testing out all of the abilities that you have been holding all throughout the adventure. But I feel like it can go a bit overboard at times. And with this level, as we'll see ahead, there is a lot of hazards. And definitely a few segments that can be very... No easy way to put this. This area can cheat shot you in a lot of ways. And it's just something that you kind of have to deal with. It's unfortunate, especially for a game that I really, really love. But yeah, as a final area, it does its job. Kind of overstays its welcome, but still alright. Alright, buddy, take me where I need to go. Look at Knuckles, he's just like, where am I going? But yeah, mostly been just staying safe during this very difficult and uncertain time, which you know can be very stressful for everybody, especially so if you are an essential worker like me, but it's kind of what we have to do. And it's especially helpful just to, you know, put ourselves out there in order to help people get by and just try to make the experience easier for people, you know? It's something I'm very grateful for, that I have the opportunity to have this job in this difficult time and be able to help people. And also, I appreciate the time I'm able to stream, because obviously, it's fun, helps distract me from a lot of things, and if I'm able to entertain someone in the process, then that's a good thing for me as well. Should be pretty close to the end of this section. I do like being Knuckles for this, because his gliding ability can be very useful to bypass some of the hazards here. Try that again. Yeah, but I've definitely been meaning to get back into some other stuff. Like, not just the games I've been meaning to actually finish, like Xenoblade, but also games I've been meaning to replay just because they're great games and I want to play them again. Like Paper Mario The 1000-Year Door. That's a great game, you know? Oh, hi, Tails. Sure, you can... Don't really know how useful Tails will be here, but sure. So can we actually kill this guy? Thank you. Get down, Tails. Yeah, really just the urge to play Paper Mario again has been because of, not because of Origami King, which is also a good game. I cannot state that enough. Oh, this section is different. Yeah, that's much different from the version that we went for last time. But one of the people that I follow on YouTube, Josh Scorcher, he actually had a stream series where he and his wife Ari were playing through 1000-Year Door. And it was Ari's first time, so getting to see her reactions to things was very unique. Because, you know, just those couple goals of getting to show your spouse a game that's very important to your childhood. You know, that is always a good time. It's something I hope to experience one day when I have a wife or husband, you know. But yeah, it was a very fun stream, and just getting to see your reactions to the various things in that game is great. Because Bowser and Your Door, yeah, it's just a tremendous game. Definitely one of Nintendo's best. Not only as a game, but as a story too. Like, it hits a lot of beats you wouldn't expect a Nintendo game to have, and it can be downright dark and depressing at times. But yeah, I've definitely been meaning to play for that game, and who knows, if I'm able to get a capture card, I can see myself streaming that game someday. That'll be fun. It'll definitely be a good experience. Just going to show off my Paper Mario knowledge. Yeah, if I do acquire the means to record console games and not just the games on my computer, then I will definitely get on that, because definitely a lot of good stuff to see. Alright, just this last section here, and then we will be... Good work, Tails. You can fly, and yet you utterly bonked that part. We needed you to fly. Well, I guess Knuckles would be a bit better, but whatevs. It's really not important right now. So, you guys can just screw off. I was not meaning to hit that. Good work, Tails. Took care of that guy pretty well. And, yeah, we should just be at the end here. There we go. Nothing left to do but fight the final boss, and we are done. Ah, Bubble Shield. Let's actually switch to Sonic for that. It's kind of a shame we're not getting to use Mania Ray for the final battle, because it would be fitting, but we're back with a classic setup of Sonic and Tails. Alright, Eggman, show me what you got. You're looking positively green with envy, dude. Yep, it's time once again to rematch Eggman using the power of the Phantom Ruby. Said before, this boss really isn't too bad. It can be annoying at points, but it's not the worst. Let's just dodge his missiles. There. But yeah, he's trying to deal damage to Eggman, avoid the electricity from the tentacles, and get captured by the glowing green hands. Hey, Heavy Comp. It's a good opportunity to restock on rings if you need them. Take that, bud. Alright, Eggman, come on. Get down so I can attack you. Alright, come on, buddy. Alright, going into the next one. This will be the... Yep. Tails, actually come here, because I can see myself using you for this one. Well, not for that part. That was actually kind of awful. And just speaking, I was hoping to fly in order to avoid the Egg Shinobi's attack, but you see, that didn't pan out. Alright, switch back to Sonic. Alright, that part is exposed, so I want to stay on this side to deal with that. Now, that's not going to make things a bit easier if you're going to go all the way on that side, Eggman. Definitely making things complicated for me, buddy. Alright, it's Heavy Magician time. You were a dick, weren't ya? Yeah, just kind of how it goes. Alright, Eggman, drop your shield again. There we go. That takes care of another tentacle. Should make this next phase a bit easier. I say that and he goes on that side. Jesus, Eggman, it's like you don't want me to kill you for like the 80th time. Alright, it's got the hand attack again, and we got the Heavy Knight. Yeah, the section isn't too bad, just got to avoid the hazards when we can. I actually didn't know there was
there's a way you could damage the Nitro in that face. That's actually kind of cool, hitting the switches to bring up the spikes and hurt him. That's cool. This game always surprising me with new things that I wasn't expecting. Alright, Eggman, what's next? He's gonna go with the rockets again, and... Alright, we are nearing the end of this fight. Come on, buddy. Alright, so next we should be dealing with Copper again. Yep. Hey, buddy. No, we don't got any rings this time. It's a little disappointing, but okay. Ow. Speaking of which... thanks, bud. Alright, we'll stay on this side since there's no hazard for us to deal with here. There we go. Eggman is defeated once more. Sorry, Eggman. Looks like this is your final encore. Look at him tiptoeing away. That's great. Uh-oh. So I actually did not know that. Looks like we get bad end. If you don't have all the Chaos Emeralds, the Heavy King takes the Phantom Ruby to use. Well, that was certainly an ending. Not the good ending, but an ending. Yeah, as I said before, I love Sonic Mania. This game is just so fantastic. Bringing back that classic Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay, bringing back all these great characters, and even bringing back characters that we weren't expecting to see returning in the series after all these years. Like, no one was expecting Mighty and Ray to be added to this game in DLC. But what a great surprise they were. They were both very good additions to this. Between Ray's flying ability, just being able to go through areas and reach secrets that would be normally very hard to get with the other characters, not Knuckles, and just frickin' Mighty being MVP. Having excellent defenses, great combat abilities, he was just an exceptionally fun character to play as. Yeah, this DLC was definitely worth the money. Just overall a fantastic experience. Quit rubbing it in. I know that I failed. Whatever, I'll see if I can get all the Chaos Emeralds on my own time, but... And also, at the end of your Encore Mode playthrough, the game shows off the times you spent throughout all the levels. So you can kind of get a feel for... Or if you want to, like, show off to your friends about how long it can take to get through this game in the shortest amount of time. I mean, 2 hours and 14 minutes? It's pretty good, all things considered. Even though I didn't get everything I could have hoped for, it was still a pretty good run. But that concludes Sonic Mania. I've done everything that I wanted to show in the game. Overall, just a very fun experience getting to go through this adventure. It was certainly worth it. Next time, we dive into a new adventure that... what am I trying to say here? I know, I'm trying to think of something very clever to end this off of. Next time, we will be diving into an adventure that I'm certain we're going to have a good time with. Until next time, have a good night, stay safe, and take care.